Hey, I know this is a different format than what I usually do for videos, but I'm actually talking about something pretty important. I'm actually going to explain my theory on the new album, because the YouTube short that I posted about it isn't really that descriptive, and I have 2 papers full of writing about this whole theory, so let's get to it. So, my first theory is only 1 page long, compared to my second one that is 1 double-sided page long. So, the first theory, which my second one is still based off of, is if Good Charlotte's new album is going to be released in 2025, it will probably be released somewhere between October 10th and the 19th, because this year is 25 years of a self-titled album called Good Charlotte. Of course, it's a self-titled album. That album was released in September 26th of the year 2000, and the album Cardiology is turning 15 years old this year as well, and that was released on November 2nd of 2010. And that album, Cardiology, was released actually for the 10th year anniversary of the self-titled album, because that album, the Cardiology album, was released almost exactly 10 years after the self-titled album. The release date will probably be in October, because there have been a few albums that were released in October. The Guitarist, Life and Death, which was released October 5th actually in 2004, and The End and the Hopeless, which was released October 1st in 2002, and the self-titled album was released in the beginning of November, and the self-titled album was, the Cardiology album was released in the beginning of November. The self-titled album was released at the end of September, and there's a month between September and November, and it's October, and between the beginning and the end of the month is the middle of the month. So, I'm thinking this album is probably going to be released in mid-October, and my birthday is mid-October. That'd be really cool if it happens to my birthday. Also, I have some number theories as well. How old is the self-titled album turning? 25. How old is Cardiology album? 15. 2025 has 25 in it, along with 25 and 15. Well, no, 2025 has a 5 in it, along with 25 and 15. 5 minus 15 is 10, and 25 minus 15 is also 10. The 10th month of the year is October, and middle of October, hopefully it'll be released. So that's my first theory on this. This is my second theory, because Amazon Music thinks that Cardiology was released October 27th of 2010, and not November 2nd. So this one is based off of Amazon Music's release of Cardiology. This year marks 25 years of the album Good Charlotte, released September 26th, 2000, and 15 years of the album Cardiology, released October 27th, 2010. The third album, The Chronicles of Life and Death, aka TCOLAD, turned 20 years old last year in 2024 on October 5th. Chronicles of Life and Death was released 2 years and 4 days after the most known album, The End and the Hopeless, released October 1st in 2002. It has been 23 years since The End and the Hopeless has been released, and here's a timeline of the release of albums 2 this year. So, the Good Charlotte album, it's been 25 years ago, September 26, 2000. The End and the Hopeless was 23 years ago, October 1st, 2002. The Chronicles of Life and Death has been 21 years ago, from October 5th, 2004. Good Morning Bible was 18 years ago, March 13th, 2007. Cardiology is 15 years ago, October 27th, 2010. Youth Authority is 9 years ago, July 15th, 2016. And Generation RX was 7 years ago, the most recent album, full album, which was September 14th, 2018. So far this year is the longest Good Charlotte has taken away from music. It's been 7 years. The second longest span was 6 years between 2010 and 2016, between the Cardiology album and the Youth Authority album, because they have kids now. But last year, in 2024, Joel Madden, who's the lead singer, mentioned on Live with Kelly and Mark, when he was on an episode that aired, said he wants to get back to music, or something along those lines. And on his podcast, Artist Friendly, he said to tattoo artist and Inkmaster winner and judge Ryan Ashley, we're working on a new GC album. When he said that, that was in 2024, and 2024 marked 6 years since they have not worked on music or released music. Again, between Cardiology and Authority, it was 6 years. So, with that, we're thinking this might be a big album. This might be as long as Youth Authority. Youth Authority is a pretty good amount of songs. And this year, the Cardiology, of course, turns 15, and Cardiology is, again, like I said, my first theory, was released for the 10th year anniversary of the self-titled album. And next year, 2026, the band turns 30, which is a pretty big number for, like, a band. Because 29 years, I believe right now, because 1996 minus 2025 is 29. I believe so. So, again, next year is the band's 30th anniversary, and we're gonna do a tour for that, because a 30th anniversary for a band is really important. So, they're gonna want a decent-sized album, and they're gonna want a new album to tour for. So, that's another reason why I think that the new album's coming out this year, towards, like, the ending of the year, because they're not gonna start another tour, like, when that album comes out, because the album will come out, like, hopefully in, like, the late 2025. It'd be different if the album came out this month, because then they'd be able to plan for tours, but it makes sense if they're gonna do a tour next year that they have this album released later this year, so they can have everything planned out. And like I said, the tour will probably be a pretty big one. It might be worldwide. Last time they made a big album was the Youth Authority album, and they had a pretty big tour for that album as well, I believe. Compared to Generation Arts, when it was kind of a mini tour for the mini album, which was a little disappointing. I like Generation Arts, it's just not my favorite. But I do kind of like it because it sounds like Linkin Park. Sorry to all the fans who really love Generation Arts. I'm just saying my opinion. So, like I said, last time they made a big album was Youth Authority, and they released that album 6 years, well, after the 6-year hiatus. And they probably started working on that album actually in 2015, which marked 5 years of the Cardiology album. Again, linking this back to Cardiology. And 15 years of the self-titled album. Youth Authority turns 10 years old in 2026, same year that Good Charlotte turns 30. Yep, I'm pretty sure all you guys who are watching this, who grew up on Good Charlotte, feel pretty old right now. Because the band you grew up seeing music videos on MTV for is almost 30 years old. That's insane, right? So, the fact that Youth Authority turns 10 years old next year, what I think is every 5 years of an album is a kind of a pretty big milestone. I don't know why, I just always think that. Some people think it's every 10 years or 15 years. I think it's every 5 years because I've noticed, something almost always happens every 5 years of a certain Good Charlotte album, or around that time span. And again, in 2024, Benji and Joel mentioned the progress of the newer album was that it's very start middle. When I heard about it in November, I heard about it towards Thanksgiving that the new album that they're working on is towards the very quote Joel, very early stages of creating. But that was in November of last year. And there were rumors of people hearing that they were working on the album last August. So, there's that. So my predictions is 2025, the band releases a new album, which I think is either going to be like the older stuff or a combination of the style of Youth Authority and Generation Arts. Because Youth Authority was like almost modernized their older stuff. That's what a lot of people thought, and I agree with that. And then I feel that if the new theme of the album might be something around the kids are getting older, and there's that, and it might be a combination of the two albums, or it might be like a combination of all the albums, or combination of the newer style with the self-titled album, because self-titled album is turning 25, and honestly, 25 years of a certain album is a pretty big deal, because in 5 years it'll be 30 years old. Which would be a probably even bigger deal, because you know what Weezer did for their 30th anniversary of the Blue album. I really hope that Good Charlotte doesn't do a remastered version of the self-titled album. I really like that album. I really want more music. I won't be disappointed if they do a remastered version. But I would kind of expect that if they were going to do it for the 30th anniversary of the band. Or if when that album turns 30. And then my other prediction is that in 2026, I actually came up with a name for the tour. that might happen in 2026 is the 30 Years of Good Charlotte tour. And hopefully it probably be worldwide, because a lot of people listen to the band. And I've noticed they've gained like around 300 more followers on Amazon Music. Not a lot of people use Amazon Music. I might have to go to Spotify to see if there's anything changing on there. I noticed that they have some more subscribers on YouTube as well. And I noticed that they changed their banner, because the banner used to be for Generation RX, which is their most recent album. And I've noticed that they, I've only been listening to them for a year, so I wouldn't know this, but I'm assuming that they changed the banner based off of a new album that they have. And the banner now says Good Charlotte. And it has a white background, and the font is like the classic font, and it's the curved. It kind of looks like the font on the Young and the Hopeless and the Toronto Life and Death combined and turned to black. Has it like stuffed up a bit, and the background is a little stuffed up as well. It does not, before you comment and say, sounds like you're talking about the cover for the single Actual Pain. No, it is not that. It does not look like the Actual Pain album single cover. Look it up and look at the new banner on like a mobile device, because they haven't changed it on TV yet. Look it up. It's a difference between the two. The only two album covers that look similar to it is both the singles, Actual Pain and Awful Things. And I found a photo of the band, but it's a pretty old photo. I can tell that it's from like the earliest 2000s, because it had Benji with spiky hair. It kind of looked like it, but it was not it, because if it was it, you would see the very tops of their heads in the banner. So the banner might be a little hint to the new album cover. And I've also been checking Billy Martin's website, because he posts artwork on there, and he usually does cover designs. He's awesome. He's a really cool rhythm guitarist and keyboardist and artist in general. I suggest you subscribe to his YouTube channel. I'll link it below. Subscribe to the Good Charlotte channel. And maybe even check out Paul Thomas. He's the bassist for the band. Maybe they'll upload some stuff. He'll upload some stuff, because he has stuff from Youth Authority on there. He has Life Changes, like an 18-minute long video for Life Changes, I believe. Might be the making of it. I don't know. But I'll link those 3 channels down below. I will also link the Amazon Music link to to Joel's podcast, because he also gives updates on that too. And I think that's it. So basically what I'm saying is, I believe that Good Charlotte is going to release a new album later this year, and they're going to have a tour for it, and their 30th anniversary next year in 2026. Yeah. Bye.